RUBEN AMORIM has been speaking. As you know, Liverpool, Manchester United coming up here soon. So this is what RUBEN AMORIM said when it comes to the question of the gap between Manchester United and Liverpool. He said this: sometimes things change really fast, but if you see the history of both clubs, you can feel that you have one club is winning, and the other club is having a bad moment. We just have to acknowledge that and be really honest with the fans. But we can win any game, all right? So if we think just about the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game. If we are going to fight to be at the same level as Liverpool in the future, that is the idea. I don't know how long, but it's going to take, but that is the idea. There's a gap, and listen, at one point, yeah, Liverpool were in the mud, all right? And then now they're on top. At that time, we were on top, and then they were in the mud. So it kind of flips, right? But we have to do our part to get where they are. But again, it's going to be a big game. So listen, RUBEN AMORIM was asked about Senna Lamens. You know, like the first game he played, people were like, are you Schmeichel, regen or something like that? This is what he said about Senna Lamens. He says, listen, first impression is really important. To maintain the level is even more important. Really difficult. He's not Schmeichel yet. He is a young guy with talent. He showed a lot of composure, and the fans liked it. But we need to prove in the next game. So the question was, we were all thinking, is RUBEN AMORIM going to be? He's going to play safe by saying, you know what? Nah, this is too big of a game for Senna Lamens. He may, RUBEN AMORIM likes to disappoint sometimes, and then he may decide to go ahead and, play it safe by bringing in Bayern. Listen, that would have been a criminal behavior by RUBEN AMORIM. So I'm glad the way it looks, it is going to be a Lamens kind of thing where we face, right? Because listen, man, if this guy is going to be our future number one, or he's already number one, he has to prove himself. Now, where else better to prove yourself than in the Lions' Den at Anfield? And where that stage will be fire, right? He's going to have to show us that he can handle the pressure, right? Yeah, how is he going to handle if he concedes a goal, right? So all those things he'll be tested. So RUBEN AMORIM needs to be brave, all right? Needs to be brave and play Senna Lamens, our future number. But yeah, he continues saying this when it comes to Lamens, right? Lamens praise, yeah, it's good, but he says nothing is impossible when it comes, obviously, for him starting and all this stuff. But he said, listen, you have to prove you can start every week, all right? It is possible. He can play. He's not Schmeichel yet. He is a young guy with the talent, and the fans like it. So listen, he's saying everybody in that team, you got to prove yourself every week, right? How you train, how you behave. He says, he had told us this from the beginning, like he monitors everything, right? That's why the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Rashi, they're not here anymore because those guys did not train properly, and they needed to be out of our club. And of course, RUBEN AMORIM was definitely asked about the comments by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the whole 3 years thing, right? This is what he said. He said, listen, he tells me that all the time, sometimes even in a message after games, but I know, and Jim knows that football doesn't really work like that, all right? The most important thing is always the next game. You can't control what happens the next game, right? The next day. So he knows, he's under no illusion that, yeah, he may have said you have, 3 years. He knows he doesn't have a month, because if he does not deliver, right, because we are in a result business here, if he doesn't deliver, he could be out of the job, right? So yeah. He was also asked about the academy comment that Sir Jim Ratcliffe commented on, right? Talking about the academy recruitment hasn't been great and all that. So this is what RUBEN AMORIM said. He says, I think the academy can always improve. I am not the best guy. I have been here a year, but I am not going to say the academy is not good because the results haven't been great. We have to see the conditions in the academy to see if they are doing a great job, all right? If you look at our club, we are trying to improve pretty much in all facets of the club, right? They're trying to improve everywhere. So RUBEN AMORIM was also asked, what is the vision of the club, right? Where's the club going, right? RUBEN AMORIM said, first of all, he says, I can feel it. I feel the support every day. The pressure I put on myself is often bigger, okay? It is really good to hear that, and helps our fans understand that the leadership knows it will take time. Okay, it is good to feel the support, but focus on the next game, right? It's good to hear the fans undergrounds singing RUBEN AMORIM. It's good to hear all that, right? But the focus is the next game. You know, Ruben Amorim, he has to, you know, kind of give back to those fans for that support. You know what I mean? So he understands that, and it definitely helps things, right? And also he did address the fact that when Sir Jim came out with that message saying it's going to be like a 3-year project, he said, listen, of course that helped. It, you know, it helped squash the noise, right? There's a lot of noise, so that helped big time, and he appreciates that, right? Because it shows that, you know, they're all in line and they understand how big this project is, and it will take time, right? So that's very interesting. So this is very funny, man. You know, like you see, the way I'm seeing this game, right, against Liverpool, I'm not really worried because our boys, they usually show up in these type of games, right? They usually show up. When we played Arsenal, they showed up. Chelsea, they showed up. So I'm not worried about, you know, playing Liverpool. We're going to get a game. We're going to give him a game, right? So Ruben Amorim said, listen, on the results against big clubs, he says, listen, maybe expectations when you are expected to win, it causes difficulty, all right? We need to have more confidence to play the game, right? So if you're going in those games that you're expected to win, you know, the smaller team, quote unquote, you know, it becomes a tougher job. But when you are going to a Lions Den like Liverpool, who are, you know, they haven't lost 4 games in over 38 something years, you know, that the players feel more relaxed, you know, because I guess the expectations are low, right? So they feel more chilled to go out there and actually fight and deliver, right? So so he's saying, listen, man, we need to change that. You know, the same mentality should be applied in each game. It doesn't matter who's put in front of you. Grimsby, same thing. You want to go in there, smash them, right? But we didn't. We're out of a cup. And you know what? By messing up against Grimsby, now we don't have midweek games. And you know what happens? Now we don't have games for these young folks, academy players who, you know, the Cheeto, the Heavens and stuff like that. They don't have a chance to get game time, right? Because right now we play once a week, and Ruben Amorim, each game, he has to make sure that he fields the strongest team, and he cannot really experiment like that. So, you know, all in all, it's just madness. Criminal behavior for Ruben Amorim, if we see that. If we see Sheshko not starting that game versus Liverpool, it will be criminal behavior, Ruben. Okay, don't do that. Another criminal, if you do not start Lamens, that is another criminal behavior for Ruben. You cannot do that. All right. Ideally, if you do not start Amad Diallo, it's another criminal behavior, right? Ahmad needs to start. Ruben Amorim has to be brave. We gotta go at them, man, because we cannot sit back and absorb it. Because Liverpool will be pressing us, so we cannot sit there and absorb the pressure by playing Dalot as our right wing back, right? I want us to go with Ahmad, man, and just go at them, right? Because Ahmad and Mbeumo on that right hand side, they could do it damage. So let's go for it, people. Come on, get in, United.